this is a moment that we will remember always from this 2023 season as we welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by our friends at Cure Auto Insurance. Ben Davis, I'm Michael Barkan, John Kruk, and Tom McCarthy in just a moment. Benny, 7-0 Phillies. They're 63-52. Weston Wilson has a great night in his debut, but the story overwhelmingly, is what Michael Lorenzen did tonight. 31 years of age, wants to be a starter. Rob Thomson talked this morning about keeping his innings down or managing them, and here he is, 126 pitches, 124. What were your thoughts as we watch this together?
There's a lot to unpack right now, but we will get into this. This is why you play the game as a kid, as a child. This is the moment you always think about. Game 7 of the World Series, full count, bases loaded. This is why you play this game. It is a game, but sometimes it's more than that. It's life-changing. And what Michael Lorenzen was able to do tonight, you just tip your cap to him. This was just an amazing opportunity for him, and he took advantage of it. I really tip my cap to Rob Thomson as well for letting him go out there. You say there's an innings limit. He's already reached that limit. Well, he goes out, lets him throw 124 pitches, and rightfully so. If it's in the cards, it's meant to be. Then it's meant to be. There's nothing you can do out there. You just pitch your game. That's what he did tonight. He pitched effectively. He said he was upset about the walks. Well, he came back. He made it worthwhile, and he gave everyone at CBP in South Philly a moment to remember. It was absolutely amazing, as we all witnessed together on NBC Sports Philadelphia. And when you look at the list of the 14 no-hitters now having been pitched in franchise history in the first in 8 years, the last one was Cole Hamels, his last start with the Phillies at Wrigley Field in July of 2015. Then the combined no-hitter with Papelbon, Giles, Diekman, and Hamels in 2014. Halladay twice, one of them a perfect game. Kevin Millwood on April 27th, back to 03. And I remember, Ben, if you go back to 1885 and Charles Ferguson, the very first one, I mean, I was late to that game, but it was amazing on the finish. It was absolutely spectacular. And that 14 total in franchise history, as we commend and applaud Michael Lorenzen, a new member of the Philadelphia Phillies. And think about it, a couple of days ago, Michael Lorenzen and Weston Wilson were not on the Phillies roster, for goodness sakes. And now they are the rage. They are making their presence felt here at CBP. All right, speaking of presence felt, let's go to Tom McCarthy and John Kruk, who watched this game, called this game tonight. Guys, he walked a batter in each of the first 2 innings. So that said, when did it dawn on you, hey, this guy's got a no-hitter going?
I'll be honest with you, Michael. There was so much going on in this game. Ryan Howard was in the booth. Yeah. Wes Wilson hit the home run. Wes Wilson made the catch down in the left field corner. It wasn't until the end of the 5th inning that it dawned on me that he had only walked guys and he hadn't allowed a hit. Yeah, that was for me anyway.
He looked at me in between innings. He goes, He has a no-hitter.
He has a no-hitter.
And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm aware. But
there was so much going on.
I know. And, we had so much going on. Here's my score sheet.
Oh, this is great.
I got to the bottom of the 2nd and then forgot the rest of the game.
And I understand why you would, John. And make sure you have Lorenzen sign that tomorrow, Johnny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But what is it? It was only a 2-hitting no-hit. Just don't worry about this story. It can be told later.
This was awesome tonight, obviously, but 124 pitches. How much credit do we give Rob Thomson here? Because I think he deserves a lot of it for allowing him to go back out.
Yeah, and Ben, I would think that if they were a 5-man rotation, he might not have gone back out.
What's this say about the ball club that won the first game of a doubleheader yesterday handily and then just had the carpet swept out from underneath them yesterday in Game 2? But to come back in this fashion, have a couple of the big boppers get to Mackenzie Gore early and then just ride Michael Lorenzen the rest of the way, it speaks a lot about what this ball club, the character of this ball club.
World Series caliber team is what it says to them. It says about them, I think. I mean, it's a high caliber team.
Yeah, and where they started to where they're at now. You got to think about everything that's gone into the season up to this point. Michael Lorenzen wasn't here 2 weeks ago. Wilson wasn't here 2 weeks ago. Bryce Harper missed the first, 2+ months of the season. And you think, and they got off to a terrible start, and you're like, oh boy, maybe this isn't their year. But I think this whole thing turned around for me when they gave the standing ovation to Trey Turner, and Trey's rewarded them with that love.
Yeah.
it's been unbelievable the last week or so.
Yeah, this city's shoulders are broader than I think people around the country realize. I mean, seriously.
Absolutely agree, Tom. And John, you well know that having played here, but to have Michael Lorenzen tell you and Tom that the fans played a role tonight, and he seemed to understand that the fans play a role in general, period, in Philadelphia, right?
Well, Michael, I'll tell you this. When it's hot and you're tired and this place is full, and, back, in the ancient days at the vet, when that place was full in August and September, and you're dragging, you're sore, there's body parts that are aching, man, as soon as you step out there and you hear that cheer before the first pitch is thrown, when they announce your name, you go out. Those pains go away, and you're like, we're going to kick somebody's ass tonight.
Yeah, guys, by the way, this is what's happening right now. So I saw this for the first time, and I've called a number of no-hitters, but I hadn't seen this until Roy Halladay's perfect game down in Miami, where they take the rubber out that is on the mound, and that at one point, see, there's the new one, I believe, that's coming in. Maybe not. Maybe that's just tool. Yeah, I think it's the new one. And that's presented to the pitcher for throwing the no-hitter or the perfect game or
that is phenomenal.
Jamie Moyer still has the one from the World Series.
I was going to say that. We started the post-game show, guys, and I said, there are a few moments in sports that trump what we saw tonight, a playoff clincher, certainly a World Series clincher. And I thought about 2008, where Jamie Moyer dug up that mound and threw it over his shoulder and took it with him. And now it's become a rite of passage. Should you throw a no-hitter, you get your own, which I love it. Well, it's really, really cool. You know what else was cool? As we say, see you tomorrow. Your call, Tom and John, it was a thing of beauty. It was art, just to be able to compliment the pictures with the words as you did, and it gave us all chills, and we say thank you.
Thanks, boys.
It was really
Thanks,
great. Really,
Thanks,
really
guys.
great.
Thank you, guys.
You know it. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Tom McCarthy and John Kruk. You can't have a no-hitter unless you call a no-hitter, and the two of them do it as well as it's ever been done. Let's hear from Rob Thomson, who decided, I'll let the guy finish the game. Here we go.
All right.
Lorenzen was saying on TV, he didn't make it sound as though there was any really heated debate on whether or not he was going back out for the 8th or the 9th. Is that true?
Yeah. So after the 7th, I went down the tunnel and I asked him, "How are you doing?" And he said, because he was at 100 pitches after the 7th, and he said, "I'm good." And I asked him, "Are you strong?" And he said, "I'm strong. I'm good." I said, "All right, I'm giving you 20 pitches, and that's it." So I said, "You better get quick outs." And he did. He said, "I will." And he did. So it was great. Fantastic moment. Great game. Him and JT just linked up perfectly. It was just a great night.
You literally said to him, "You better get quick outs."
Yeah.
So make sure.
Yeah.
Is there any conversation after the 8th, or does that kind of...
No, because he was in my mind, it was like, okay, if he gets 113, 114, 115 pitches, we got to get him out, because we got to keep this guy healthy. You know how important health is for me, and he's got a career to think about, and I got to think about his career. The good thing is that he's going to have probably 8 days off before his next start because of the days off. So he's going to go into straight recovery here for the next couple of days.
What have you thought of him overall, just 2 starts in?
It was good. In the first inning, he built up a lot of pitches. I'm not sure what he ended up with. It was probably 23, 24 pitches after the first inning. And then he walked the leadoff guy in the second inning. But then he just settled right in. I don't know what happened, but, he started getting the ball down and getting the ball over the plate. His changeup was really good. I thought all his breaking balls were good, and he started throwing strikes and getting quick outs. And after the first 2 innings, maybe 3 innings, you wouldn't think that he'd be able to get through 9, but he did.
I think every player and manager, coach has a different point in the game when they think, I think he might have a chance to do this. Was there a moment in the game for you in that bat or a sequence that?
I can't really recall a certain moment, but because I was so locked in on his health and his pitch count, and so I don't know if there was a. The one good thing about his pitches were there weren't many stressful ones. I mean, it wasn't like he was working out of jams and things like that. So, boy, what a performance! I mean, his first 2 starts there, he gives us 17 innings. The first start in Miami, he saves our bullpen because we virtually had nothing, not much anyway. And now this tonight, and what a welcoming night to Philadelphia. Yeah, Weston Wilson, same thing. This kid comes up here and first at bat. Well, the first play that he had, the ball up against the left field wall in foul territory. He looked like he was playing in his backyard. And then, he comes up his first at bat and hits a home run. He gets a couple walks, scores 3 runs. I told Schwarber in about the 5th, I said, if we get a couple more, now stay loose, because if we get a couple more, I may want to get Weston off his feet. You may have to go out and play left field for a couple innings.
Do you think you would give Lorenzen that much leash if you didn't have the 2 days off next week? Does that kind of factor in at all?
It does. Absolutely, it does. I mean, if he's going on regular rest, I don't think we get there. I really don't, because his max pitch count this year is 101. So he went 23 over, which is, I mean, there's some risk there. So having the extra rest really played a part of it.
Was there a number, if he had gotten to it in the 9th, that you would have had to take him out, kind of regardless?
That might have been his last hitter right there. Yeah.
What did you say to him? Did you say anything to him after the game?
Well, we had a little toast in the clubhouse, but no, I just shook his hand and said, great job. I mean, what else are you going to say?
He's in the middle of, maybe his best year, and it seems like you're catching him here at a good time. His last 4 starts with Detroit were really good. Is there something specific that stood out to you in these 2 starts about how he pitches that looks a little different, or maybe it's not something you remembered from seeing him on the other side?
I think he's just so simple. He throws strikes, and he gets weak contact, and I think he understands how difficult hitting is because he's been a hitter, and he just keeps people off balance and challenges people, and it works.
How do you think his changeup has played into his success here? Because he mentioned he hadn't thrown it in a couple of years. He said that on the broadcast.
It was great. I mean, tonight he got a lot of swings and misses on his changeup to the left-hand hitters. I thought all his stuff was good, but to your point, especially his changeup.
You've been in this game a long time. You obviously know things like this don't come along very often. Did you have advice, or do you have advice for him for how best to kind of savor this moment?
Not really. The first, in my entire college career, minor league career, major league career, the first no-hitter was the one last year against us. I think we had 2 last year, right? So this is the first one I've ever had on our side. So I have nothing.
So you're saying maybe if he walked the last batter there, that he may have had to go out?
Well, I may have had to wear a bulletproof vest, but I may have had to just to save him.
And what can you say about Nick Castellanos? It seems like since beginning of August or so, he's kind of been on a power surge. So
Yeah, it's talk about it all the time, the ebbs and flows of the season, and right now he's really swinging the bat. He's staying back and using the entire field. It's that home run to right center tonight, and that's when he's going good. That's what he's doing. He's hitting the ball over there.
When you look at Lorenzen's no-hitter and Weston hitting that home run on his first at bat, and you've been in this game a long time, when you have nights like this, what's to say about the magic a game like this can produce?
Yeah, it's incredible. I've seen a lot of things, and during this entire homestand, there's so many storylines. The Trey thing, the standing ovation, the no-hitter tonight, the Weston Wilson coming up. Baseball is a wonderful game, and there's so many magical moments. And when you can do it in front of your home fans, like these things have happened this week because our fans are just off the charts passionate. It just, makes you just love the game. Thank you.
I'd like to say goodnight and farewell after that because he put it so beautifully. Rob Thomson just tied it up in a little bow, but he's right. It's the magic of sports in general. It's the magic of baseball in particular, the summer game, the American game, and it's just a thing of beauty. And he talked about the things that occurred during this homestand and the storylines that have happened during this homestand, beginning with the standing ovations that Trey Turner received on Friday night that seemingly have gotten him out of his slump. He talked about Lorenezen not only pitching tonight and throwing a no-hitter, but then he talked about Wilson and the fact that he gets a home run in his first at-bat. We watched, his family was there in tears, and you don't see this in other sports. You don't see it like you see it in baseball.
No, you don't, and I think that's why since 2011, last year was the first year this ball club made the playoffs. It had been a minute, and I think that's why this city just really surrounded themselves around this ball club because they saw what type of personnel this ball club was made of. They saw their work ethic. They saw that they truly loved playing here in South Philadelphia. They traveled well, did the fans. And I think it's just one of those things where I say, you know what? Baseball is fun. It's really fun because we have been through some lean years. 2015, 16, 17, 18. There were some lean years and tough games to get through. And now we have a ball club that over the last couple seasons that, man, they're fun to watch. And I think that, not to sound cliche, but this ball club really is the ultimate box of chocolates.
Yeah.
I mean, you go into this ballpark, you have no idea what the heck you're going to get. You don't. They could be down by 8 runs, so be it. They could come back and win 9-8. You just don't know what's going to happen. It's just, that's what I think makes this, that's why this ballpark is sold out so frequently this year, because you go there, you don't know what you're going to see, you don't know what you're going to get, but by golly, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah. And we saw Ryan Howard tonight in the booth, and I'm thinking of 2008, and when you get to be my age, 2008 was 8 minutes ago. So when you say it's been a minute, it has been a minute, but the magic never stops at that ballpark, certainly, and not with the personnel that the Phillies have this season, from Trey Turner to Bryce Harper to Michael Lorenzen, and now Senator Wilson, as I call him, Weston Wilson. And then here comes someone from Major League Baseball, puts a sticker on it to authenticate that this is the pitching rubber used by Michael Lorenzen. Ben, tell us about the components of the rubber. What's it made of, Ben? Go ahead.
I would say rubber. How great would that be as a centerpiece for Thanksgiving supper?
That'd be unbelievable.
You put the gravy boat up there, the salt and pepper, the mashed potatoes.
Yeah, that's my pitching rubber right there. Yes, I was on that thing and no one got a hit. Look at that. Welcome to town, indeed, Michael Lorenzen. 8 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, and 2 earned runs in his first start as a Philly at Miami. And then tonight in his home debut, 9 innings, no hitter. Yeah, he walked 4 guys. Who cares? 5 strikeouts, 124 pitches. We got to get to what Rob Thomson said this morning on the radio, too. We'll get to that later. But here's Michael Lorenzen in the clubhouse on his performance.
Sometimes I kind of think about this. What are your emotions right now going through this?
It's unbelievable, to be honest. I've always dreamt about being able to throw a no-hitter and having the opportunity. And, Skip gave me that opportunity to go 120 plus pitches. And, man, it was incredible. Hats off to JT for game 2 and me, again, not shaking at all and just being on the same page. And I'm just blown away.
What was keeping tonight?
JT, to be honest. I mean, I didn't really have great stuff. My changeup, I will say we made an adjustment. Caleb helped me with the changeup. Showed me a grip from back in 19, and my grip for the past 2 years was different, and I didn't realize it. So we went back to that grip, and the changeup played really well for me tonight.
Were you at any point a little worried that they wouldn't let you finish this off?
I would say when I hit the 100 pitch mark, when I come into the dugout, and he gave me a pitch count that he was going to let me go to, and said better be efficient. And so I figured I think that could be enough. And after I got through the 8th, I was like, okay, I get to go back out for the 9th. So it was, that was it.
Rob says that
mindset when you know, says you've got 20 pitches to kind of get close to 6 outs. What does that do for your mindset? Do you try not to change anything?
Yeah, you don't change anything. You just hope that, you just got to live in the strike zone and hope they continue to hit balls right at guys. I mean, that was kind of the story of the night. They were hitting balls right at guys, and so we just keep letting that happen. And if you give up a base hit, you give up a base hit. So what?
When did you think it was going to be a real possibility?
I think after 5, pretty early. But I knew I had 2 to 3 long innings in the beginning there, so that was the only thing in the back of my mind. I was pretty upset with myself for not being as efficient as I normally am, and so I knew I had to, kick it into gear to be efficient if I was going to be able to finish a game like that.
And what's it like going out to the mound in the 9th? You get the standing ovation. No hitters on the line.
That was the coolest moment of my baseball career, going out there for the 9th. That was definitely, just walking out of the dugout and hearing the fans go wild. It gave me the chills and gave me that boost of energy that I needed for sure.
You saw on the bench after the 8th, you were in deep focus. What goes through your mind? What are you thinking about? What are you focusing on going out for the 9th?
Yeah, just quieting my mind, not overthinking anything. My job is to make good pitches, and so I'm just quieting my mind of not trying to think through situations or counts or what did I throw this guy last time or strategy. It's I have one job and it's make good pitches, and so just shutting my mind down, turning it off, and not letting it kind of drift. So just staying centered and making good pitches. And what's that? Yeah, my wife, my 9-month-old, and my mom. So man, that.
Did you get to see you talk to them at all?
Yeah, they came down to the field, and my wife has invested into this as I am. I lean on her for everything, ups, downs. I mean, she knows my strategy when I'm going out there pitching, and so her reaction was incredible to see her on the field.
A year ago, you're rehabbing at this point in time. How much sweeter is it after going through this? And could you imagine this a year ago?
Man, yeah, I mean, you just got to keep going. That's the lesson. It's just, I've been punched in the face. This game's punching me in the face for so many times. I feel like I've played. This is my 9th season. I've yet to have a year that I'm happy about. And so, I just got to rely on the work that I put in and trusting and hoping that it's going to pay off at some point. And, it's been a good year. We still have a couple months left, though, and getting into the playoffs and have a lot to accomplish left. So we got to finish strong and, yeah.
How wild has it been over the last week and a half, though? You were on a different team, and you probably don't even have a place except in the hotel right now here, and it's a home debut for a no-hitter?
Yeah, we just moved in a couple days ago, so I was playing mover a couple mornings ago, running back and forth from the stadium, the hotel with luggage and everything. So we moved in, and it's been a whirlwind, but like I said, all I have to do is just make good pitches, and whatever JT calls, just make that a good pitch, and that's it.
Was there a moment in the 9th inning that you might have reflected or took in the moment at all?
As I'm walking out, I'm telling you, the fans going crazy. It's hard not to get a little emotional because you're like, this is what I've worked for. I mean, this is a dream come true. I'm walking out for the 9th inning. I have no hits. I'm in a city like Philly, and these guys are going crazy. I can't hear the pitch comm. The pitch comm's all the way up to the highest level. And so, there was it got a little emotional, before that 9th inning started, and it gave my body that boost that I needed.
Michael, retire the white Vans now?
Yeah, I got to get a new pair for sure. I mean, those are my only pair. So, Vans, we need to make another pair as soon as possible. Maybe send those to the Hall of Fame, and those will be the first pair of Vans in the Hall of Fame.
Rob told us that was going to be your last batter, possibly, probably. And he may have had a bulletproof vest to go out and get you. I mean, do you, in your mind, is that in the back of your mind at all? Like, I have to get...
No, I mean, like I said, God is good that I got him out. So, yeah, I didn't know if it was going to be my last hitter or not. So just grateful that I got him out.
Michael, 2 starts is coming over here and now a no-hitter, and along with that 2 starts, just to be able to make a contribution like this to this team so quickly, what's that mean for this team for you?
Man, I mean, they're making it pretty easy with the runs they're putting up for me, so I'm able to just go out and throw some strikes. But Yeah, I mean, it means a lot, and these guys have been insanely welcoming for me. I've felt like a part of this team since the first day I've arrived, and knowing a ton of them, knowing some of the staff before I got over here has helped quite a bit.
So the family that you had here, other than your wife and child, would they have been here if it wasn't your first start with the Phillies?
No, they live in Southern California, so they probably wouldn't have been here, but I know they're celebrating right now for sure.
Who was here for you?
My wife, my mom, and my daughter.
So your mom probably wouldn't have been here if it was just another
No,
start?
yeah, she wouldn't have. She wouldn't have.
How special is that?
Yeah,
She
it's
got
pretty
to see
special.
this.
God is good, like I said. It's special. We're gonna this whole experience has been so humbling, and the only thing I can do is just step back and thank God for everything, literally everything that He's done for me, and even like I said, the trials and everything, it's made me better as a man, as a baseball player. I wouldn't trade any of it for anything, but to be able to experience this tonight, just so grateful, so blessed.
And you've spoken about the ability to focus more quickly. There's somebody talked about earlier this year, not letting things linger at bat, into at bat.
Mhm.
Does this night happen without finding the ability to do that this season?
No, probably not, to be honest. I mean, I didn't like quite a few of the pitches that I threw, so I feel like there would have been some carryover in other pitches, a lot of frustration with myself. So to be able to, like I said, just move on to the next pitch, just think about this pitch, make a good pitch. I feel like I've developed quite a bit of skill this year to be able to actually make a good pitch, not hope to make a good pitch. So, being able to rely on that has been helpful.
Did you shake JT? You didn't shake
Not
him
once.
last
Yeah,
time.
not once.
Again.
If I did, it's probably a fake one. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you shake JT? John Clark asked him. He said, not once. If I did, it was a fake one. Michael Lorenzen, you know what's amazing to me about him, Ben? It's tough enough to play the game, but then to talk about how you play the game and to be so eloquent in discussing how you just threw a no-hitter, that's amazing.
How humble and grateful and that he is. And to hear that this is the first year he's played that he's actually happy with the way he's going. Talk about a guy who's never complacent. That shows a true professionalism. I like the fact that he never shook his catcher off, because we take a lot of pride in how we call a game and how we prepare our pitchers to throw a baseball game. And you got to give credit to JT. Again, Rob Thomson for letting him go out there for those last couple innings. But this is just one of those things where it was meant to be. He said, you know what, I'm going to make my pitches. I love the fact that he didn't back down. He didn't try and get too cute. It was like, here it is, hit it. If you get a hit, it's not the end of the world. And that's what I really liked about it. It was just like, hey, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. There's nothing I can do about it. If it's in the stars, that's great. If it's not, so be it. Maybe I'll do it next time.
If for some reason you just woke up from a long nap and you don't know what we're talking about, at the bottom of the screen, it says we will have an encore presentation of Michael Lorenzen's no-hit performance tonight, Weston Wilson's first home run in his first major league at bat. How about this, Ben? Approximately 225,500 Major League Baseball games that have been played. 225,000. That's 1 in 700 are no-hitters. So there's a 1 in 1630 chance of a first game home run as well. And there's a 1.1 million chance of both in the same game. 322nd no-hitter in the history of Major League Baseball, and the 138th first at-bat home run. 138th versus 322. What's more special? It's got to be the no-hitter.
It's got to be the no-hitter. But still, to have that, I mean, Weston Wilson's going to say, the first game I ever played in was a no-hitter on our side. And my first at-bat, I got a home run. Oh, and I had a couple walks, and I scored 3 runs. What a night that these guys will never forget. And let's not forget Nick Castellanos. Congratulations to you as well. 200 home runs in his career. He had three RBIs on the day. It was just a great team effort.
Yeah, and let's
obviously.
not forget Liam Castellanos, who ran all over the stadium.
I'd like to get his steps on it. If he had an Apple Watch, I'd love to see his steps.
Congratulating Michael Lorenzen's wife, daughter, and mom.
It was like he was being teleported everywhere. He was here, he was there, he was there.
Hey, FYI, come here.
My
my dad sends his congratulations. I got to go back down now to the batter's box.